Have you ever sat quietly on a sunny morning, cup of tea warming your hands, and thought to yourself, I've done so much, come so far, but why does happiness sometimes still feel out of reach? If that thought has ever crossed your mind, please know you're not alone. It's something many people experience, especially after 70, when life slows down, routines shift, and the world doesn't always seem to notice you the way it once did. But here's the real secret: happiness doesn't fade with age, it simply changes shape. You see, the things that bring true joy, deep comfort, and lasting peace look a little different as the years roll by. And honestly, that's a beautiful thing. Because the older you get, the more you realize it's not about chasing big, flashy moments. It's about holding tight to the quiet, meaningful ones. That's what we're diving into today. Together, we're going to chat about 7 simple things that truly matter when it comes to being happy after 70. Not the stuff the magazines talk about, and not the endless advice from people who haven't walked in your shoes. Real, human, heartwarming truths that can make your days brighter, calmer, and more fulfilling. So let's ease into the first piece of this puzzle, because it's a big one: connection. Now, I'm not just talking about being surrounded by people. I'm talking about feeling truly connected, seen, heard, and valued. Loneliness is something many seniors face, even those who have family nearby. It's not about how many people you have around you. It's about the quality of those connections. You don't need a crowd to feel loved. Sometimes 1 or 2 genuine relationships are worth more than a lifetime of acquaintances. Whether it's a neighbor who always waves, a lifelong friend you call once a week, or even chatting with the cashier at your local store, these little threads of connection create a fabric that wraps around you and makes you feel part of the world. And that feeling, that simple knowledge that you matter to someone, can do wonders for your heart and mind. And while connection with others is priceless, another piece of happiness comes from connecting with yourself. After 70, life gives you a gift that younger folks often overlook: time to reflect. You've earned the right to slow down, to listen to your thoughts, to rediscover hobbies or interests that once brought you joy but got left behind somewhere along the way. Whether it's painting, gardening, playing music, writing, or even learning something new, reconnecting with your own passions can bring an unexpected lightness to your days. One of the most overlooked but powerful ways to find happiness is allowing yourself to be fully present in the small, ordinary moments. Have you ever noticed how peaceful it feels to sip your morning coffee without distractions? Or the quiet joy in watching birds flutter at the window? Or the comfort of sitting under a warm blanket on a rainy afternoon? These moments are so easy to miss when we're always looking for the next big thing. But when you slow down and really savor them, you realize they've been the secret to happiness all along. Now, before we continue, I want to take a quick moment to remind you: if this conversation feels like it's speaking to your heart, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps this little community grow, and it lets me know you'd like to see more videos just like this one. I believe we're all in this together, and the more voices, the more stories, the more kindness we share, the richer our lives become. Now that we've touched on the power of connection and being present, there's something else that quietly holds the key to happiness as we grow older, and that's purpose. It doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. Purpose can be as simple as watering your plants every morning, calling your grandchildren to share a story, volunteering at your local library, or taking care of a beloved pet. Purpose is what gives your days shape and your heart a sense of meaning. It's the feeling that you still have a role to play, no matter your age, and that your presence matters. Having a reason to get out of bed, to smile at the sunrise, to contribute your time, wisdom, and kindness, that's where lasting happiness quietly blooms. And the most wonderful thing about purpose is that it evolves. What mattered to you at 30 or 50 may not fit your life anymore, and that's perfectly okay. The beauty of getting older is that you have the freedom to choose new purposes as your days unfold. Now that we've opened our hearts to connection, presence, and purpose, let's keep this beautiful conversation going. There's so much more to uncover about living with joy after 70, and I can't wait to share it with you. You know, the funny thing about happiness is that it isn't something we can hold or measure, yet we feel it so deeply when it's there and miss it just as deeply when it slips away. And as the years go by, the real treasures of life become less about things and more about the feelings we create for ourselves and for others. Now that we've talked about connection, being present, and finding purpose, there's another piece of the puzzle that often gets overlooked: gratitude. I'm sure you've heard the word a million times, but I want you to hear it again with fresh ears, because after 70, gratitude takes on a whole new meaning. It's easy to focus on what's changed, what's been lost, or what aches in the body these days. But happiness has a beautiful way of creeping back in when you shift your focus, not ignoring the hard things, but choosing to notice the good things right alongside them. Think about it: the sound of your favorite song playing unexpectedly, the sun casting golden light on your garden, the warmth of a grandchild's hug, or even just waking up to a new day. These are all gifts, small but mighty. When you start and end your day by naming just one thing you're grateful for, your mind begins to change its focus. You'll start to notice more moments of peace, more smiles, and more simple joys that you might have missed before. Gratitude isn't about pretending life is perfect. It's about recognizing that even within an imperfect day, there's beauty worth noticing. And that shift, over time, becomes the foundation of happiness. And while gratitude helps nourish the heart, let's not forget about the body. Taking care of your physical health is another piece that matters deeply, not in a perfectionist way, but in a loving, gentle way. Our bodies have carried us through decades of life. They've seen us through celebrations, heartbreaks, victories, and losses. They deserve kindness and attention, now more than ever. Something as simple as going for a light walk, stretching in the morning, or even standing up and moving around during TV commercials can make a world of difference. The goal isn't to run marathons or lift heavy weights. It's about keeping your body active enough to keep enjoying the life you love. Movement gives you more energy, it brightens your mood, and it even sharpens your mind. Think of it like oiling the hinges on a door. The more you move, the smoother life feels. And this leads right into another piece that often gets underestimated but holds real power when it comes to lasting happiness: acceptance. Accepting who you are, as you are right now. Too often, we hold on to ideas of who we used to be, when the body was stronger, the memory was sharper, the face was smoother. But real happiness after 70 doesn't live in the past. It lives right here, in the present, where you are, with all the wisdom and experience you've earned. When you give yourself permission to let go of comparisons, whether it's to the person you once were or the people around you, you make space for something much gentler and kinder: self-compassion. There's no race, no finish line, no age limit on joy. You've lived through so much, and you're still here, breathing, learning, growing. And that in itself is something worth celebrating. And as we talk about these meaningful ways to build happiness, I just want to pause for a second and thank you for being part of this conversation. If this has brought a little light to your day, I'd be so grateful if you'd give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Every like and subscribe helps more people just like you discover these warm, heartfelt conversations. And it lets me know you'd like to keep this journey going together. Because at the end of the day, it's not about having all the answers. It's about showing up for yourself, learning, growing, and embracing the beautiful life you've worked so hard to build, one day at a time. Now that we've opened the door to gratitude, health, and self-acceptance, let's keep this gentle and uplifting conversation going and explore even more of the little things that truly shape a happy life after 70. It's such a comforting thought, isn't it? Knowing that happiness isn't something that fades with age, but something that shifts and deepens. The more we welcome gratitude, take gentle care of our bodies, and accept ourselves without judgment, the more space we create for peace and joy to grow. But there's still one more ingredient that often goes unnoticed, and it's one of the most powerful of all: curiosity. You might be thinking, curiosity? At this age? But yes, staying curious about the world and about life is like keeping the spark of youth glowing inside you, no matter the number of candles on your cake. Curiosity isn't about knowing all the answers. It's about asking the questions, exploring new ideas, trying new hobbies, and letting yourself feel a little excited about what the day might bring. Whether it's picking up a book on a topic you've never explored, learning how to cook a new recipe, planting flowers you've never grown before, or even figuring out how to use that new gadget your grandkids showed you, staying curious reminds you that life still has surprises to offer. It pulls you forward, gives your days color and meaning, and most importantly, it proves that learning doesn't stop at 70 or 80 or even 100. And while curiosity opens doors to new experiences, kindness is the glue that holds happiness together. Not just kindness toward others, but kindness toward yourself. How often do we speak softly to the people we love, but use such harsh words on ourselves? That quiet little voice in your head matters more than you might realize. When you choose kindness, even in how you speak to yourself, you create a space where happiness feels safe to stay. So often, people carry old regrets or past mistakes like heavy luggage on a long journey. But the truth is, you've done the best you could with the tools you had at the time. And every day that you wake up and decide to be gentle with yourself, to show kindness to others, and to forgive what can't be changed, that's a day when happiness has room to breathe. And if there's one thing that brings all of these pieces together, connection, gratitude, health, acceptance, curiosity, and kindness, it's having a sense of belonging, feeling part of something, no matter how big or small. Whether it's family, friends, neighbors, a church group, a walking club, or even an online community like this one, human beings were never meant to go through life alone. When you belong, you feel seen. When you feel seen, you feel valued. And when you feel valued, your heart softens, your mood lifts, and happiness flows in almost effortlessly. It doesn't take big gestures or grand moments to feel this. Sometimes it's just a phone call, a cup of tea with a neighbor, or even leaving a kind comment on a video like this one. These simple acts remind you that you're part of the world, and the world is better with you in it. So as you sip your morning coffee or enjoy the quiet of the evening, let these thoughts settle into your heart. The secret to happiness after 70 isn't about chasing more or trying to turn back the clock. It's about leaning into the life you've built, embracing the days ahead, and allowing yourself to live fully, just as you are. And before we part ways today, I want to remind you of something important. You are never too old, too late, or too far behind to create more joy in your life. Every day is a fresh page waiting for you to write your story. Whether you're 70, 80, or beyond, happiness is not a reward for the young. It's a lifelong companion for anyone willing to make space for it. If this video warmed your heart or gave you a new perspective, I'd be so grateful if you gave it a thumbs up and clicked that subscribe button. Not only does it help more wonderful souls like you find this community, but it lets me know you're here and that these conversations matter to you. And I'd love to hear from you too. Share your thoughts, your favorite ways to stay happy, or even just say hello down in the comments. You never know who might read your words and feel a little less alone. Together, we create a space that feels welcoming, supportive, and full of light. So here's to living your best life at any age, and to the happiness that's waiting right around the corner, just for you.